Greetings everyone, welcome back to Blade Bias. We are almost done with school for the year, and that is pretty freaking cool. Also almost back to getting my head mount back. If you're wondering where any important video has been lately, or any bonus biases, or anything that I've said I would do and I haven't done yet, I've been waiting to get my head mount back because I really don't want to record like videos that I'm super excited about without a head mount. So today, I decided while I was flipping my Prysma Pro to break out the case that I haven't actually broken out in quite a while now because A, not much time, B, that, which, yeah, we'll get into that when I get my head mount back. I know people are probably waiting. But I figured I would get my case open and flip some things that I haven't flipped around in a little bit, including this bad boy, which I love so much. Also, I'm going to shout this out. I know this has nothing to do with the video, but the Superfly is $100 off right now. You can get it for $200. Titanium trainer for $200. I don't even think I need to clarify that they sent that thing to me for free, because I think anyone with half a brain would be able to understand that a titanium trainer from a reputable manufacturer and maker for $200 is an insane deal. So if you're interested in that, go check that out. But I decided to take the little Prysma inserts that I love so much on my Prysma Pro and put it in the Prysma V1 because, you know, Prysma V1 has a bit of a slight different balance. So how would this affect the balance of the Prysma V1? And the answer is not as much as you would think, but like enough that I notice a change. I don't really know if I like it, but it's a change for sure. Which, yeah, I think that basically sums it up. So basically, the Prysma Pro, right, is a bit more handle bias than the Prysma V1 because of the slightly heavier 7075 aluminum that the handles are made out of. I think it's like a 0.08 ounce difference or something like that. You would have to look up the official numbers, but I don't even know if you can do that anymore because they're discontinued, yada yada yada. But it's a little more handle bias, which means that extra blade weight really did help me feel that it was just a much better flipping experience. I have really been loving the Prysma Pro inserts, the Prysma inserts on the Prysma Pro, because it just makes it feel more neutral. It makes the blade carry a little bit more weight. It makes it just feel overall more balanced, more natural even. Like, it feels a little unnatural to flip this thing right now. Granted, because I'm, used to flipping it with the inserts in, but just because like the handle bias makes it feel a little shaky sometimes, and that blade weight really goes to help that out. It helps get rid of that, helps make the fans feel way more consistent, helps make the whole thing feel a little more neutral. It makes it feel a little bit like it does without the weights, honestly, but you don't lose the momentum properties that the weights offer. And I find a very similar experience on the Prysma, except for the fact that the Prysma is already less handle biased than the Pro. I actually quite like the balance of the Prysma V1 stock as it is. So this little bit of extra blade weight, I'm not actually sure. Ow, it was right on my toe. I'm not actually sure if I like it. Like, it is, as I squeak into the sunset, it's good. Like it's fun and it's nice. I don't know. It makes me kind of feel like the handles aren't really carrying enough weight now. If I if you want my high level overview, it's fun to try. If you have Prysma weights or Prysma inserts, throw them in a Prysma. It's a pretty interesting time. You get a little more blade weight. Fans, ironically, don't feel as smooth as they do without them. I think it's just because the best fans have a balance between the handle and the blade, and this kind of kicks that balance out of whack, similar to what it does when you take these weights out at the end. That's just my theory, though. The reality of that could be very, very different. But it's a fun thing to try, and I think it does flip pretty well, just not better than, in my opinion, not better than it does without, and certainly not better than this does with the inserts in. So if you asked me to choose, I would absolutely choose the Prysma Pro with the inserts in. But the Prysma V1, trying it out with the inserts in, pretty good. Pretty fun. I shouldn't say pretty good, because like I said, like there's a little bit of weirdness to it. Specifically when I fan, it almost feels like the Akuma. Remember the Akuma Matata, that thing that had a real big trouble fanning? Like this, it doesn't feel that bad at all, but I get like the same kind of like hint of a feeling. If the Akuma Matata was a can of soda and the flavoring of the soda was the way that it fanned, this is a seltzer with like, it's like TV static, but like with a splash of orange. It's like they filled up the cup next to an orange, you know? I guess I really did just compare Balisong flipping to canned beverages. Man, I am really on a roll this week. Holy cow. But yeah, it's the more that I record this, the more that I'm realizing that maybe this, you know, maybe I don't have as much to say about this as I thought. But it's a fun experience as usual. Zippy's inserts are fun to try on different Balisongs. I was going to say that they weren't originally intended for, but in this case it literally was intended for this, so yeah, I don't know. The little bit of extra blade weight is fun. I could live without it, honestly. Just to have that better balance between the blade, better balance of weight between the blade and the handles. But it's fun, and it's surprisingly still sticky. Like, handle bias tricks still work. Like, choker fans feel good. Palm fans feel good, but chaplains don't really suffer that much. I mean, granted, we're talking about an extremely small amount of weight here, but we're also talking about an extremely small amount of weight between the Prysma V1 and the Prysma Pro, and those things feel vastly different, and it's this whole thing. So yeah, it's fun. If you're into more blade-weighted stuff, maybe you would like this, but I feel a little bit more weirdness in the sense of, like, I don't even think someone who is more into blade bias would really like this that much, just because it feels a little goofy. Like if I pop these out, and actually, funny story about the tolerances of Machine-Wise. These channels are so thin and so close to the blade that these were sticking out just a tiny bit, and I didn't notice because you can't really see it. And it was enough to make the blade, like, it was enough to make the insert rub against the channel and, like, actually mess with the way that the blade went into the channel. Which, it's just mind-boggling that is capable of happening, and these things don't get tapped for as long as they do. Machine-Wise, come on. Come on. Oh my gosh. It's taking far more strength to do this with one hand than I was expecting. Machine-Wise tolerances, as we all knew, on top. Love it so much. Okay, that feels a little weird. Yeah, without that little bit of blade weight, it just makes the thing feel a little bit more balanced. But honestly, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun to have them in. I always like when my blade carries a little bit more weight. It's not how I would really prefer to flip if I was going to go crazy and like recording clips or like learning stuff. Because I think the Prysma V1 has like just such an insane balance. I love the balance of the Prysma V1. If it was this balance in these ergonomics with these rounded handles, I would be a Prysma V1 shill all day. It's just the blockiness that kind of kills it for me, but that's why I like the inserts in the Prysma Pro so much, because it takes it closer to that. So yeah, that's Ethan's I spent 10 minutes talking about two products that are discontinued now. There should be a couple more drops of Prysma V1s, maybe one more drop of the Prysma Pro, but we don't know, so that's pretty cool. Anyways, I'm going to go now before I spend even more time talking about a Balisong that's been discontinued. So I'll see you in the next one. Later.